the Transformers movies franchise have not really been good. Apart from Bumblebee, which in my opinion, it was pretty good. Not great, but it was entertaining enough to actually like the movie. Every single other film of the Transformers franchise, in my honest opinion, have been either mid to ass, in my opinion. And the reviews for these movies back up my point right now. But that trend has stopped. This trend of bad Transformer movies, of mediocre and bland Transformer movies, has finally stopped because of Transformers 1. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is the best Transformers movies to date, in my honest opinion, because Transformers 1 is an emotional roller coaster, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This movie, at first, it'll make you laugh, in my opinion. There's a lot of comedy in this movie, but this movie isn't necessarily a comedy, because this movie hits dark undertones, especially with the main plot point of the movie, the friendship of Optimus Prime and Megatron. But this movie is an origin of sorts, because we see Optimus Prime and Megatron, they're at first minors, and Megatron, he is looking up to one of the fallen Autobots that was like basically a legend, and he was looking up to it, so he always had that logo. And there's a backstory in this movie that plays into the real plot of the movie, and that is Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime is this ruler, well, not really much of a ruler, but every single Autobot on Cybertron, they all look up to Sentinel Prime. They basically think of him as a god, as a deity. They basically think he can do no wrong, because he is actually telling all of these Autobots that live on Cybertron, he's basically lying to them, because he is trying to find the matrix of leadership. And when he finds this matrix of leadership, it can actually bring back all the energy that all of these Autobots lost, especially the miners, because Megatron and Optimus Prime are both minors. When they meet each other, they now grow a friendship with each other. And to be honest with you, I really loved their friendship in this movie. They really actually played into the friendship so well, because like Megatron at first, he was this like great guy, in my opinion. He didn't really want to do the things Optimus Prime wanted him to do most of the times, because Optimus, he was actually like a daredevil type person, but he always wanted something more. He always knew that he could be more than just a miner working in these hard conditions and basically amounting to nothing. And Megatron also believed that as well, but he did not want to ruin the protocol. He always wanted to stay on protocol. But they now basically grew a fond of each other because of the environment they were working in. So then Megatron eventually now started to follow Optimus Prime's antics and actually do his antics, and the movie even starts off in that same light. But as the movie goes on, we now see the friendship, and they really hit this part very good, in my opinion. I think they really nailed to us that we actually at first will think that they're going to be best friends to the end, in my honest opinion, because when they now start to eventually see other people in the cast, we now start to see Elita as one. And in my opinion, when they first met Elita 1, I thought that she'd hate Optimus Prime, but obviously we all know who she is. But they really made us think that like she really hated Optimus Prime, because Optimus, well, he was always like a troublemaker in this movie, and Optimus, he would do stuff when they're in the mining field that caused Elita 1 to get fired in that mining field, even though it was Optimus's fault. So that's a valid reason why later in the movie, when we now see Elita 1, she's working at some other place because she got demoted due to Optimus Prime's antics. We're now seeing Elita 1 when she spots Optimus and Megatron doing some antics, trying to sneak aboard with, in my opinion, a very funny character in the movie, played by Keegan Michael Key, Bumblebee. I ain't gonna lie to you, he was funny as hell, especially when he was saying the Badassatron. That shit was funny, in my opinion. This movie, they had a lot of funny characters, and a lot of the characters, they just felt right, in my opinion. Their chemistry with each other was right, in my opinion. It was funny, and it got serious a lot of times, because when Bumblebee got introduced and they now fought Alita 1, Alita 1, her reasons were valid in trying to quote-unquote ruin Optimus Prime's life, because he basically ruined her life, because when he did that thing, you know, she got demoted. But I kind of fast forwarded a little bit. We have to know about Sentinel Prime, and Sentinel Prime, he is a liar. He has been lying to all these people for the long while, and he even met Megatron and Optimus Prime early in the movie, when Megatron and Optimus Prime, due to Optimus Prime's antics, because he actually persuaded Megatron to go into this race, this huge race that I think is annually, or it happens once every like long time, and it's called the Iacon 5000 race, where a lot of the Autobots who can actually transform, they actually participate, but the miners who can't transform, they don't. So when Megatron and Optimus Prime, when they now actually snuck in due to Optimus Prime's antics, you know, it actually caused a buzz. But they actually almost won, but they didn't win. And when they didn't win, they were actually about to not really be promoted, but probably a falsehood of promotion, because when they met Sentinel Prime, he was actually impressed with their antics and their bravery of actually coming there, and he actually lied, saying, "Oh, this is good. I'm gonna make the miners actually have a day off. This is actually good. The miners will actually get a raise." He was actually boosting their head up, but he was impressed with them. But that impression of Sentinel Prime did not even come to fruition, because there was this hating ass robot. He now caused Megatron and Optimus Prime to sink below all the way to the ground. That's where they met Bumblebee, and Bumblebee was funny as hell. He had no friends. He was talking to nobody. He was by himself. He was literally going crazy for a long time, because they just basically kept him down there to be just sorting through the scrap of the whole of Cybertron. And that shit was funny as hell when he met them, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. He was actually funny. At first, I thought his jokes would be a little bit over excessive. I now remembered it's Keegan-Michael Key, and he's a funny ass dude. But they now eventually meet each other. They now eventually see that they actually can find the place to get the matrix of leadership. And Optimus Prime, again, this is another key point of the movie. Optimus Prime, he actually always convinces Megatron to kind of do stuff for him, but they always got each other's back. They always help each other at first. They always, you know, love each other and to help each other. And no matter what, they're always going to be for each other. But due to these antics, they now meet Alita 1 again. And Alita 1, I really liked her in the movie because she was actually like a badass in the movie, and all these characters just felt right, in my honest opinion. So then as the movie going on, these are unlikely band of people, they now move with each other through these fields that are just, in my opinion, so trippy to look at, because these deers that they're like robotic. Every time they sense danger, their lime green turns red. That shit was actually pretty creative, in my opinion. And then the reason why Alita 1's following them is because they basically ruined her life. She's stuck there, so now she has the map for herself, and she's basically saying, if any one of you ruins this, I'm basically going to report you and basically ruin their lives. But they now eventually find what they're looking for, but when they find it, it actually turns the whole plot of the movie, because they see an old Autobot, an old legend, an old superhero to these Autobots on Cybertron that died in an ambush. Him and his people died. So when they see them, they are like shocked, seeing all these legends. And Megatron, he's seen his legend that he looks up to. He's like, what? This is crazy. But, you know, he's also like overwhelmed that all of this is going on. Everyone's kind of overwhelmed, and when they now realize one of the Autobots, his core is still open despite being dead, they turn it on, and the Autobot, at first he reluctantly wanted to work with Optimus Prime and everybody else, but then he now eventually told them the truth. He told them the truth that Sentinel Prime actually caused this ambush because he was working with the Quintessence the whole time. Sentinel Prime was working with the Quintessence. He backstabbed all these legends, causing them to die, and he now basically took all their powers, all their cores inside their chests, and gained all their powers, and now is starting to lie to the citizens of Cybertron that he is the savior. He's gonna find the matrix of leadership to bring back the energy there. But the thing is, he's actually lying. The energy that these people desperately need, he's actually trading them for the Quintessence, and he's basically their lapdog. He's their lackey. So this grand vision of trying to be this king that nobody can touch, in my opinion, he has to bow down to somebody else. So I like that dynamic. He's trying to be the big bad, but he's a wannabe, and the real big bad are the Quintessence. And when they realized that, Megatron gets so mad that when I saw that, I was like, wow, they're going that route, man. I didn't want their friendship to break up. I really liked their friendship, in my opinion. Like, I liked how Megatron was interacting with Elita 1 and with Bumblebee. But the old legendary Autobot that they was revived, he now grants all 4 of the main characters, he grants them powers. And he grants them powers by basically grabbing all of the other 4 dead corpses, or Autobot corpses if you want to call them that, and he now gives them the powers. He now tells them that Sentinel Prime has been lying to you guys again. Every single Autobot there were always born with that power, but every time before they were programmed, he removed the power to give to the Quintessence, and this made Megatron so mad because his whole life was a lie. Doing all of this was a lie. Everything was a lie. Everything that he knew was just all a dream, basically, and he has nothing to live for. Even his friendship has nothing to live for because that's a lie as well. But man, the friendship with Megatron and Optimus Prime, that shit broke me, in my opinion, man, because they were really good to each other, man. They were friends with each other. They now actually record Sentinel Prime kneeling to the Quintessence. They're hunted by Sentinel Prime's bodyguard. Basically, she has like tentacles, and she's pretty strong, in my opinion, because when she now actually catches the old legendary Autobot, and he's basically kneeling in front of Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime, he's so sick and demented, he just kills him on the spot. I'm like, damn. But they now eventually capture Megatron and Bumblebee, and when they captured Megatron, he was showing he's not scared of Sentinel Prime. When he was being tortured by Sentinel Prime, we see that Megatron, how he got his scar, and then Sentinel Prime literally scarred that logo onto him. But Megatron was still not scared. I'm seeing that, damn, they really did a character 101, because Megatron, he was always just following people. He was kind of a follower. He wasn't doing anything for himself until he now got that power, and that changed him. That made him to create a purpose to actually do something for himself and to actually avenge a lot of people, but he was turning evil. So it now caused Optimus Prime, you know, to basically slowly realize that, damn, he is slowly turning because of the power. Then Optimus Prime, you know, he is legendary in this movie, in my opinion. He was good as fuck in this movie, because let me just skip to the end. When at the end, I thought the final boss fight would be against Sentinel Prime, but then Megatron proved he wasn't scared of Sentinel Prime. He was embarrassing him in front of everybody, because at this time, the whole truth was leaked to everybody, and everyone saw that Sentinel Prime was a fraud. And then Megatron killed Sentinel Prime in front of everybody. He ripped him in half, basically proving that he is dominant, that Sentinel Prime, he is a fraud, and now he's trying to destroy everything. This can actually cause the death of everyone on Cybertron, so it causes Optimus Prime to stop Megatron. But earlier we saw that Megatron could have saved Optimus at one time when he blasted him, and you know, this was a turning point of the friendship. When he blasted him and he was about to save him, he let him go, he let him fall. So now they're enemies. They're gonna be arch enemies for the foreseeable future. And the final fight, man, it was pretty crazy. When Optimus Prime and Megatron were fighting each other, Optimus Prime got the better of Megatron because he gained the matrix of leadership. He is now the chosen one, basically. he is Optimus Prime, and he defeated Megatron. Megatron, he said this isn't over, that he now fled, he ran away, and we now saw the end of the movie with Optimus Prime, Elita 1, Bumblebee, and the whole citizens and Autobots of Cybertron all regain the power that they lost due to Sentinel Prime. And in my opinion, this movie is actually crazy, man. It's actually insane how good it is, in my opinion. I think this is one of the best movies of this year, in my opinion. IGN got it wrong when they graded this movie a 5 out of 10. They're smoking crack, in my opinion. Rotten Tomatoes got it right at an 89%, and IMDb got it right at a 7.9 out of 10. This movie is really good, in my honest opinion, and it's right now, I'm gonna stamp it the best movie of the whole Transformers franchise, of the live action movies, of the movies that hit the big screen, in my opinion. That's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.